I looked at a lot of the complaints of so-called men's rights activists, right? And in the book, I kind of take them seriously. At least I say, well, what are they actually saying? You know, what is this resentment based on? Is it realistic? You know, and I think those kind of claims, I mean, they do have quite a power. You know, I mean, it's true. I mean, actual equality at the level of employment would mean more women doing more dangerous jobs. But again, that's a kind of zero-sum picture where it's like, you know, everything has to kind of even out, you know, for there to be justice, right? Or whatever you want to say, fairness. Yeah. And I think, again, to say that women don't have power isn't true. You know, women have a lot of power. You know, there's a certain kind of narrative that actually sort of, you know, tries to push the idea that women don't, and that they're always kind of at the mercy of men. And, you know, that doesn't capture things like flirtation and seduction, let alone like women's power in particular industries or anything like this, you know. And so again, I wanted to have like a more nuanced picture. I mean, I think I don't take any delight when the left tears itself apart. I mean, I still regard myself as being on the left, you know. I mean, I think, but I understand, I understand why people might, because the you know, this idea of the purity spiral is very, very accurate in describing what happens in leftist circles, where people strive to be more and more kind of, you know, perfect in a way and moral, and, you know, to be absolutely correct about everything. And in order to maintain that position, you have to kind of outgroup people. You have to kind of chuck them out. And, you know, scapegoating is a very old mechanism, and it functions in order to kind of strengthen a weak group, because then they can unite around the person that they hate. You know, and the left have a lot of hate figures, right? People they hate. You mentioned Jordan Peterson. He'd be one. You know, and really, I mean, if you read Jordan Peterson's book, it really just tells young men largely, but it's not only read by young men, but it's also read by young women. And I went to see him speak, and he was very, you know, popular in this way. But basically he just kind of says, like, get your life together. You know, it's really very simple. You could say it's banal. You could say, why on earth do we have a culture that needs some patrician guy in a suit playing a father figure to sit there seriously and talk about, you know, Christ and Jung and, you know, sense of self and so on, to tell people to tidy their rooms. And yet it seems like we do need that. Like, at least a significant part of the culture responds very positively to this.